Tinubu has dismantled the North on religious line, because we know that the core Northerners align with countries like Pakistan, Palestine, Afghanistan. These are countries that are ruled by Taliban, by Islamic, radicals and conquerors. But today, Middle Belt, led by the governor of Benue State, Father Alia, under the instruction of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, having spoken with the of security to the Americans that come into Nigeria, however, land in Benue, so that you can have the real stories of the situation going on there. And this is what we have currently on a Sunday evening. On my screen over there, you will see it, that America are here. And finally, there is no longer room, space for the Fulani Islamic Janjaweeds, Jihadis and fundamentalists. I have seen how the Northerners have been lamenting, have been in so many ways crying of being uncomfortable. They are preaching to us that America is only here to take the resources. Someone at the end of the day will take the resources. Yes, because the Fulani terrorists that have been invading, wiping people's life away from their ancestral land for the past 20 years in Nigeria, what they have simply been doing is take over the ancestral land of these natives, rename it, and of course start in their illegal minings. It is in 2025, and finally the years of such elements is over. We all know that the way Tinubu is going right now, by 2027, Tinubu wants to clearly show that I don't need the corners to become the president again. In fact, for me, I am predicting that President Tinubu will be picking a Christian from the Middle Belt. Yes, because there's a clear indication. There is a pattern going on here. You had a conversation with America. Shortly after Nuru Badu welcomed them into the Nigerian soil, they headed to Benue. Of course, for me, Benue is the headquarters of the Middle Belt. And currently, they have left. However, they have assured the Christians of the Middle Belt that none of you going forward will have his life cut short if the Fulani bandits come again. Now, we know that peace does not come free. We know that peace is not cheap. Of course, if I was in their shoes, I wouldn't mind. If I would have to give away my thing, if I have to give away some of my natural resources for me to have an everlasting peace and sovereignty from these people who seemingly want to wipe me out of the earth, why wouldn't I? The Benue people, the Middle Beltan people are not the first people that will give away their resource in exchange for peace against bullies. Yes, because these Janjaweeds coming all the way from the north are bullies. The Nigerian state somehow is structured to favor them. Yes, nobody out there can be existing illegally the way they do, wherein they remain unchallenged, wherein they remain unstoppable. No, governors will come out and defend them. You know, earlier today we saw a governor from Gombe thereabouts saying that this Fulani terrorist headers, that we should try and negotiate with them and understand their plight. Imagine, you know, the people that they buy now, the people that are being killed are not his sons, are not his daughters, they are not his wives. The Benue people need an instant solution. You are telling the Nigerian government, you are telling Tinubu that no, let us start building roads and hospitals for these Fulani headers. They are being marginalized. Are the Benue people not being marginalized? No. Are the Plateau people not being marginalized? Is there anybody in this country, in the grassroots, that is not marginalized? Why have they not taken up arms? Why have they not taken up arms and said that we are waging war against the country? They know what they are doing. And that their gimmick finally has been busted. We don't know, say, now their Islamic jihadist conquest. They want reawaken. Since the era of Usman Danfodio in 1804, they want to return it back. So they will be telling us when we want to meet those that will help us, they tell, oh no, don't go. They will take our resources. Don't go. However, you for back door, go and take a look at all those places in the middle belt today that they've chased the people out. Go and look at what is happening. They are taking away their gold, taking away their lithium, taking away their natural rare, metals. We cannot remain a fool wherein they'll be deceiving us with the one Nigerian mantra. I so much love the steps of Middle Belt, particularly Benue State and Plateau State. Yes, today now on social media there has been a campaign that in the current Nigeria there's nothing like Middle Belt. That what we have is northwest, northeast, and north central. So that those people that are calling themselves Middle Belt are to be treated as terrorists. That's what they're saying. That they are committing treason against the Nigerian state. That there is absolutely nothing like Middle Belt. But let me remind you, it was a Fulani man. Let me be specific. It was Abacha. Initially, IBB did it, but Abacha came in and ensured that he cut off the name Middle Belt and he changed it to North Central. In fact, in that North Central, he ensured that 2 local governments in Plateau State and I think Benue State are predominantly for Fulanis. I'm telling you. Abacha did that. In Plateau State, he gave 2 local governments. These are places that were not originally, ancestrally, in any way, shape, or form related to the Fulanis, people that came all the way from Futajalo. But Abacha, under the military decree, declared that from this day, this local government, this land belongs to you people. You own it. This is why you see that in the Plateau, in the Benue, you see that in some cases, the Fulani Muslims will be lamenting that why are these Middle Beltan states, why are they not including us in the community policing that they are setting up? Why are they not being recruited into the state police structure? Because those ones know the real history. Those real aborigines are saying that we are the land of the soil, now we get this land and now we go protect that. But they are saying that no, we are also part of the indigenous. So you can see the identity crisis that Nigeria puts everybody in, a mess, a terrible mess that you will have to, at every point in time, be defending your sovereignty. Because some people are always on rampage to do one thing and one thing alone, usurp your land and resources. In Oyo State today, we have the same thing. In Ogun State, we have the same thing. In Enugu State, we have the same thing. In Bayelsa, we have the same thing. Everywhere, people are fighting. In a country that we think it's sovereign. The subnationals are not even sovereign from one particular people. Just to go and look at all the insecurity issues going on. 95% of the time, it is always the Fulani Janjaweeds, the Fulani Islamic radicals. They say they want to conquer everybody. They have weapons. They will kidnap people, take money, buy more arms, and before you know it, they will start going to communities, Christian communities, to be clear. Why? It doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense. So you cannot be telling us that you, who we know, you have taken alliance with Palestine. You have taken alliance with Afghanistan. We saw how the northern youth took to the streets to protest for the salvation, for the emancipation of Palestine, of Hamas. We saw how they were protesting for Donald Trump when he said he will come to Nigeria to what? To stop Christian genocide. We saw how immediately they took it to street. In fact, El Zazaki, one of their topmost northern spiritual leader, he said Trump is an evil sent by Shao Kahn. He said Trump wants to kill all the Nigerian Muslims. And when we ask them, you are telling us that there are more Muslims being killed than Christians. However, someone wants to come and wipe out these people that are killing the Christians, who, however, in the other hand, are killing more Muslims, yet you are against it. These are the lies, these are the deceptions. This is a word they call takia in Islam, wherein they will pretend to be a part of you, but it's a lie. So we can see, we already know that these people agenda is to align with the Islamic Republic. Their agenda is to ensure that Nigeria becomes an Islamic nation one day. Their agenda is not to have a dissenting voice. They are not happy that Middle Belt, Southern Nigeria, in their majority, are aligning with the West. They're not happy. They are not happy that we want Israel as against Saudi Arabia. They don't want it. They are not happy that we want civilization against Sharia and archaic law. This is why you will see that a governor, Yarima, I think he was the first governor of Zamfara State, he came out, he said it clearly. He said our agenda is to Islamize the country. He said it unapologetically. Imagine. He said their agenda is to what? And then you want me not to come here and say that Tinubu should go ahead and split the North? The North is long overdue to be splitted. Long overdue. The North is long overdue to have its real identity figured out. Some tiny people cannot be in one corner and be the food Lord above the remaining people. If you need to see the level of insult on the Hausas, who have the largest population in this country. They have the largest population in this country. The Hausas have nothing less than 12 states. Yes. However, the Hausa people are not in any elected position. You can imagine. You won't believe it. The Hausa people have been completely decimated. When you say they strip person naked, like you collect in pant and bra, or you are just a waka naked. This is what the Fulani oligarchs did to the Hausa people right from 1804 till eternity, as the case will be. Go whether they see, nobody will wake these people up. What I am saying, the Fulani are not at any point in time going to allow the restoration of the Hausa dignity. Unfortunately, that is not going to happen, because religion is what they have used to compel them, and now they've also created something that looks like a double identity. They call it Hausa Fulani. And you see, that is a strategy that they want to eventually use for the remaining rest of us in Nigeria. But unfortunately for them, we are way ahead of them. Let's listen to Yarima saying it's gibberish that Nigeria will be.
Well, you see, people don't know what Sharia is all about. First of all, Sharia is principles and practice of Islam. You can't separate Sharia from Islam. They are one and one. So any Muslim who tells you that he doesn't want to live his life according to Sharia, then he's not a Muslim.
Do you think Nigeria should become a Sharia nation?
That is my ambition, and that is the ambition of every Muslim in this country.
So, as a leader, governor, chairman, president, you are expected to run your affairs with the dictates of Sharia. So, as a leader, governor, chairman, president, you are expected to run your affairs with the dictates of Sharia.
Item 62 says National Assembly shall not make any law that affects Islamic law. This second schedule. So this amendment is against second schedule, item 60.
Well, you see, people don't know what Sharia is all about. First of all, Sharia is the principles and practice of Islam. You can't separate Sharia from Islam. They are one and one. So any Muslim who tells you that he doesn't want to live his life according to Sharia, then he's not a Muslim, because he doesn't even know what is Islam. If you are a Muslim, you have to live your life according to the dictates of Sharia. From the time you are born up to the time you will marry, the relationship between you and your parents when you are small, your responsibility to them or their responsibility to you, the relationship between you and your wife, if you marry, how you will marry, your responsibility to your wife, then your responsibility to the neighbors, to the entire society, is all defined under Islam, under Sharia. That is what is called Sharia. It is not just the capital punishment that people are talking about. This is just part of one aspect of Sharia. The major aspect of Sharia is called mu'amala. That is how you relate with human beings, other human beings, even animals. There are ways we have to cut and kill our animals. There are ways you enter toilet. There is way you come out of toilet. So everything in Islam is defined under Sharia. So it's a code of life for Muslims. So as a leader, governor, chairman, president, you are expected to run your affairs with the dictates of Sharia.
In Nigeria, Sharia has been instituted as a main body of civil and criminal law in 12 Muslim majority states since 1999, when the then Zamfara State Governor Ahmed Sani Yerima began the push for the institution of Sharia at the state level of the government. A declaration of full Sharia law was made in the 12 states in that year, and the states created Islamic legal institutions such as Sharia Commission and Zakata Commission, and a Hizbah, a sort of an Islamic police, according to some critics, like Neo Igwe, the chairman of the Board of Trustees for the Humanist Association of.
As I understand it, there is a very fierce debate in the North now between those who believe that you do not win this kind of problem with only military approach, and those that believe that you can win by talking, by negotiating, by consultation. The debate is still there. It's out there. The jury is still out. But I understand a mixture of the two has been used successfully in quite a number of places already. So maybe in the end, this has to be put together and applied. But I remember very well when there was an amnesty program in the Niger Delta, during those chaotic times, and it has worked perfectly. They were given amnesty. They were sent to school. They came back. They become integrated in the system, and they are useful products and citizens of Nigeria. That also aspect can be looked at in terms of the North. Most of these bandits have not had the opportunity to go to school, have not had the opportunity to actually enjoy what we ordinarily do in the cities. And it's just for government to probably, while extending hands of friendship, but also making it